Alright, we're going to be upgrading or installing and partitioning hard drives into desktops. Alright, now the first thing you have to do, make sure it's powered off, pull it up, unplug everything. Once everything is successfully unplugged, pull your desktop up somewhere where you can work with it. Like so. Shoo some of the dust bunnies away. You're going to want to undo the side panel of the desktop you are installing or upgrading your hard drive. Once you remove the side panel, you should see something like this. Now, this is a custom computer built by me, for me, and we are going to be adding in like so. And what we're going to do is we're going to install it right there. But first I need to find the rest of my toolless hard drive mounts. After that, we're going to come back and I'll show you what else needs to be done. Okay, and now we're going to continue back on with our hard drive installation. Now what I did here is you can see I installed one of the toolless mounts already, and in order to install the second, all it is 2 screws that my thumb is blocking. 2 screws. Just make sure you got to line it out right. You want the squeeze tabs on this side in order to get the cables. So you just make sure this back dimple goes into that far screw hole. You line the other 2 screw holes up. And if I can juggle the phone and do it one-handed, you just want to simply screw in both of the screws. I can get a better purchase here. There we go. Get them screwed down. And let's just finish doing these here. I know you really can't see anything at this point, but okay, now once they're all fully screwed on like so, the next step is, for me, I have to unplug an already existing cable, just to move it out of the way, undo my SATA cord, insert the new drive wherever it fits. Alright, now we just reinsert that. Oh. Shoot. Well, it does so appear that I have already allocated every single one of my SATA drives, or SATA ports. Unplug this one, as it's gonna go where it needs to, and it's only a quick store data drive, so nothing too valuable here. Alright, now we have the hard drive fully installed, all our cables tucked. Should only take a few moments. Alright, now I am repeatedly pressing the F2 key according to that menu to get to the BIOS settings. Once your BIOS settings appear, we want to go over to the boot tab, boot menu type, hard drive boot order. Now here we can change the order. Now both of those are my Western Digital drives, so let's move this drive up here. Now, normally that would set to boot to this hard drive, but I don't want that in my particular case, but if you do, that's how you would do it. That is on. Alright, exit saving changes. Press yes. Now if all goes well, we should boot to my original hard drive, which is in this case what I want, so I can get into Windows in order to partition the new drive. Alright, now that we have successfully loaded into Windows, I'm going to carry on from my desktop. Now that we're in Windows 8, what we're going to do is come over here at Search, type Disk Management, and the first option is one you're going to want. Create and format hard disk partitions. It's going to launch the Windows 7 or Vista version of disk management. And now, since we installed a brand new hard drive, it wants us to initialize the drive first. I always do master boot record just because I do. Hit OK, and now it's going to initialize the drive. Once the disk initialization has completed, right-click on it, click New Simple Volume. Next. Now this is how big the partition you want to be. If you leave it blank, by default is the size of the disk. Hit Next. Now you want to assign a drive letter. In this case, E is perfectly fine. Hit Next. And then format this volume. Now this is your format. NTFS is perfectly fine. Leave default, label, whatever you want to call it. New hard disk drive. Reform a quick format would be more than like it would be perfectly fine. Hit Next. Hit Finish. Formatting the drive. This should only take a moment or so. There we go. And we now have our new drive. After you have the disk properly formatted, what you can do is if you want to add another partition to it, and you forgot to leave space earlier, or if you're partitioning a new disk, or sorry, partitioning an already existing disk, what you want to do is shrink the volume. Click Shrink Volume. Now this is how much you want to shrink it by. For safety's sake, let's just do 10 gigabytes. Shrink. Okay, here's our 10 gigabytes. Now we can create a new simple volume. Hit Next, full volume, assign the new drive letter, and what you ever want to call this part of the disk. We can call it New Partition. Finish. Now we have New Partition. And that is all it takes to format and partition a hard drive within Windows Disk Management Console.